Hello, and welcome to the Hidden Pieces with Kimberly Renee. I am back, and an interesting thing happened. I recorded this morning when I first got up, and the video is gone. It's not there. So I'm like, okay, Mercury. Mercury's playing games with me. And it's almost like Mercury's like, that's not the message. That's not the message that you're meant to share. Not yet. Um, and so I've had like a lot of things happen over the last 24 hours, very interesting things. And so I didn't post yesterday. And I was going through like things were unfolding, like things were coming apart, like things, all the different pieces were coming together. And that's what Mercury really helps us do, is to kind of take things apart and bring us all the different things. And we have to go here and here and here. So this got canceled and that got changed. And I didn't go there, but I went over here and I got this call and all the different things like, I just all the different things, right? And it's like all the different pieces coming together. And then we get the big thing at the end and it just like brings it all together. It's like this big, powerful message that Mercury, the way that Mercury brings it all together, like takes it all apart, like changes this and changes that, and then brings it all together in this really magical way. So interesting that the video that I recorded this morning did not did not save. And I was like, well, what happened? Like they always save. So I don't know if this one's going to save or not. We're going to see. But I thought it was so funny. I'm like, huh. So I went back, like I was like trying to figure out, do I have enough storage? Is it not, is like, what's going on? And I couldn't figure that part out, but I went back into a video that I had done, I think in 2024. And it was when the bird flew into my house. You got the first part of it. Like it was, it's if you go back to, I think it's October 2024. I shared a lot about that experience. But there was a 13-minute video that I was like, I had more to share. And so I came in and I was like, oh my God, like I was just like the inspiration is there. So I think there's a couple things here for me and maybe for you. It's like we follow our inspiration, like we follow the energy. And when we're not, and it's like when we're not, then we just don't. It's like whenever we're pushing and forcing, everything shuts down. Like it's a direct off point. It just shuts off. And then when we open up and allow, and we just, okay, I'm allowing myself to go on this adventure. I'm allowing myself to go on this journey. I'm allowing myself to be guided. I'm allowing for all the magic and the mysteries to come into me and being in that space. And then allowing like the shifting and all of that. Like I know I said I was going to post a video Monday through Friday. And I didn't post yesterday. I was gathering all the different pieces, and it wasn't until that night where I got like the big magical moment, you know? So in that, I'm changing again. Like I'm going to post when I have magical moments to share. And I'm going to invite in magic every day. Yes, I am. And I know magical things are happening. And sometimes we have to get the different layers and the different pieces that may take us a few days, but then in the end, it's like, oh my gosh, like this piece and this piece and this piece and this piece on this day, this day, this day, and this day didn't seem so magical at the time. But then in the end, it like all comes together and you're like, oh my God, this is amazing. Like it's that. So we have to allow for the flow, for the things to shift and change and shake and quake a little bit, or like, and not be so hard, not be so like it's this, because that's trickster Mercury. Like that's when we get trickster Mercury. And it's like it doesn't seem as fun. It's like really frustrating. You're like, no, it's gonna go. No, and Mercury's like, ha, I'm gonna show you. No, it's not. So back, I think it was in October, November 2024, when I did this video, it was when the bird came in. But I had a whole other thing to share. And I'm gonna put it on the end of this. because it just really lit me up. I was like, wow, my energy was like amazing. Like I was so into that, and I still am. But it's shifted a little bit. And I've noticed myself getting more into the mundane, into the more like, I've got to do this and I've got to do this, and not letting myself be in the mystery and the magic. And I think I feel like it's because it's a pushing and a forcing. Magic doesn't come when we push or force. Like we have to like allow ourselves to be guided and open up in these new and different ways to be able to go into these other places and spaces for the magic to come in, and for everything to open up and for us to be guided. Otherwise, we're just, ego is like, go, 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 like push hard, go here, we're doing this, we're doing that. And it's like, how's that working out for you? Because it hasn't been working for me. Like, that's not how I work. That's not how my system works. I was in corporate America for most of my life. The last 10 years, I haven't been, but for up until that point, I was in corporate America, and that was the pushing, the forcing, the drive, and since I haven't been in that world, I'm like, that's not, even when I'm creating my business, even when I'm creating Mercury Mysteries and the Solar Secrets and like everything that I want to do, your magical year experiment, everything that I want to do, I'm not going to create it by that forcing and driving and pushing and it's got to be this way, it's got to be this way. No, I've got to open myself up and allow for everything to come in and through me. Like, be the open channel. Like, just allow myself to be that open channel and allow everything to come in and be lit up when a bird flies into my house and shifts me from this low point into this like magical space. And I'm like, oh my gosh, that's the energy. And like, it's like going outside and finding the sticks and like realizing like all the different things. And I know I know I'm going on this deeper journey with Mercury, and finding, like, seeing the different ways in which Mercury is playing. And I feel like it's because it's to help me share with others and be able to like shift and help them shift out of ways, help them like help others to kind of shift like from this to into this. Because when we're leading, when we're like, okay, I want to do Mercury Mysteries, okay, Mercury, guide me. It's almost like, okay, well, in order to do that, you have to understand the different layers and levels in which people are in, and then where you are, but then how to move, how to help them move and shift and get from here to there. So as I'm doing that, I'm able to help others do that too. So I am super excited about this Mercury Mysteries coming up. I'm super excited about Mercury Retrograde. Like, we're in pre-shadow and all the different things that are showing up in all the different ways, and like the different pieces that have to come in. And I'm noticing where I'm like, oh, like what? Like what? Like, but no, it's like all the different pieces have to come in for that big thing, for to be able to see all the pieces together, like the whole puzzle comes together, and it's like, oh, this piece and this piece and this piece. And it's like, look at that. Like, it's amazing how it all kind of comes together. Venus is working. And what's so exciting is like, so yesterday Mercury and Venus met. And then today, actually early this morning, Saturn was Kazemi, so was getting reborn under the heart of the sun. So there's like this, it's like this, there's these, Mercury and Venus are traveling together in this very romantic, dynamic way. And it's like Venus is like our relationships and our values and our self-worth and our beauty and the aesthetics and creativity and like our joy and our pleasure and the things that just make us feel like the sensual and the all of those things, the things that makes us feel good, right? And relationship, and what's our relationship to all of that? What's our relationship within ourself? Because it's all in Aries. So what's our relationship within ourself? And Mercury's helping Venus like get these messages, like helping her go deeper. Maybe like Mercury goes to the underworld and goes to the heavens above to bring us guidance, to like really help us shift things up and out, or down and in, up and out, down and in, you know, so we can realign. Like I think of Venus too as like wherever we're out of alignment, she's going to help us rebalance. Like Libra, she's going to help us rebalance the scales to help us bring us back into alignment with our own true essence of our own beauty within ourselves, finding that light and beauty within ourselves and sharing that out into the world. And Mercury is going on this journey with her and helping her uncover and rediscover these different aspects and parts of her beauty, of her essence, of what she's here to like be and do. Like what she's here, and I don't want to say fight her, but what she's like courageously and confidently, like owning that courageous and confidence within herself, like this beauty within herself and bringing that up and out, like uncut, like it's like the hidden pieces. It's like sometimes Mercury, like we got those things kind of buried down in us. Well, Mercury is going to help us go down and like unbury that stuff and help shift it up and out. So it's not always pleasant, but it's like on the other side of it, it's like we get this magic that comes up and just expresses out. It's like able to like shift us out. I'm trying not to make this too long because I have like many different things I could share, but I'm like, okay, I don't need to go on and on and on here. So, we have that. We have we have Venus and Mercury that met yesterday. We have Saturn, who's reborn, getting reborn under the sun, in the heart of the sun. So getting revitalized, getting this new life. So whatever boundaries, restrictions, wherever we were constricting ourselves in like unhealthy ways, like shedding all of that, whatever was constricting us, or wherever we felt like there was too many boundaries or too many restrictions, or we weren't able to open up and expand. It's like all of that is getting shed. Like that is just like, oh, it's gone. And this new essence of Saturn is coming in, like this new, like to me, I feel like Saturn helps us get to the true essence of what the energy of that sign is. So Saturn in Pisces, the mystical and the magical, the divine love, like unconditional love, compassion. It's like bringing up that true essence of all of that and expanding that and making sure, like, are you in your soul alignment? Are like Saturn's like, he's the principal, he's like the guide, like the master, like the wisdom, the higher wisdom. It's like bringing this higher wisdom, like, but this is the true essence of this sign, and this is what you're here to master. And if we're in these lower ways, that's where we feel the constriction and the constraint, and where we're like, ugh, and it's like breaking out of all of that and coming into like this pure essence of what it is. And Saturn's like, master this, like master the pure essence of what this is here. And that's the wisdom. We get wisdom from all of that. So there's these high lows of it. And that's where we feel like, oh, the rules and restrictions and da 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 da, and brings new structures and new foundations to help us build this new the new love within ourselves, the compassion within ourselves, to be able to unconditionally love others, unconditionally love ourselves. So it's bringing all of that in. And then, you know, when Neptune, so then we have the eclipse on Friday, on the 14th, and that's trining Uranus. And the interesting thing about, and that's okay, I'm going to go on this. I already talked about this in the other video that I'm going to share. But Uranus is the higher octave of Mercury. Mercury is the lower octave. And Uranus being the higher octave with Mercury the lower. I'm not even going to explain this because I'm just going to share the video because I already explained it all in there, and I was just like, oh my God, like, yes, I just need to share that. I just need to share that. So it's going back over time, but it's like it's good. And it's like, it's what we're kind of experiencing now, because Uranus is trining this eclipse, and then the next day we go into Mercury retrograde. It's like the next day we have this energy where Mercury's like, Mercury and Uranus in some way are working together in like the big shifts in these, but Mercury's like going down and up and helping us to shift in these bigger ways to help us align, help us realign with our own true self, with our own true essence, and owning that confidently, courageously, and bringing that out into the world. So that, yeah. So yesterday I'm just gonna recap real quick. So yesterday was like a very odd, weird day, but by the night, I got the big magical moment. I'm not going to share the big magical moment, but it like led into all of this. And then I went back in time and like was like this. And I'm starting to understand the deeper layers and the bigger pieces of the mysteries and the magic and how it's like all coming in. And I feel like in this journey that I'm on and bringing this all together, like I'm understanding in a deeper way, like the different ways in which how I'm bringing it here and together, and how it's all going to like unfold. There's an unfolding here, and it's so beautiful. So I'm excited to share it. And Mercury Mysteries is live. Like we are, doors are open. So I'm going to share the link below. And also the Mercury freebie, if you want to sign up for that. It'll help guide you through the Mercury retrogrades that are coming up. I think it's through 2026 that we have the playbook for. And then, but if you want to come along for the Mercury Mysteries journey, I'm so excited to be starting this. Like I'm going to leave doors open until Sunday, and then we're going to do the opening ceremony on Monday. And we're going to have live Q&As every week. And I am going to be sharing 2 trainings on Mercury's journey. We're going to do the whole cycle of Mercury and how the shifting and changing all works and plays into our lives. It's like mind-blowing when we actually like see the bigger picture of it all. And then I'm going to talk about the morning and evening star and how what you are in your chart, how to find that and what that means for you. So those are the 2 different pieces that I'm going to bring into it. And live Q&As every week. We're going to dive into charts, and I have many other things that I'm going to share. So, and I have lots of surprises. Like Mercury loves to bring surprises. So I am all about sharing surprises and giving gifts in some really fun, playful, magical ways. And why not have some like little sprinkles of fun, joy, and pleasure like all over, where Mercury can, like, this is a beautiful way to play with this energy. So I'm so excited. So I hope you join us. Yeah, and all the information's below. So have a magical day. And as I'm starting, hello, and welcome to the Hidden Pieces. And as I'm starting this video, it is 2:22. So, and I'm just recording as things come to me, because I really find that that's like the best way to, it's like when we're in divine inspiration, it's like that's when we do it. That's when we move. That's when we go. And then it allows us, it's like almost like as we're moving through each different part of our charts, it's like what's being activated and what's coming up. So the moon is, so the thing with Mercury and Uranus, Uranus is the higher octave of Mercury. So if you think about Uranus as the great awakener, and so if you think about Uranus in the higher octave as the great awakener, also downloads, insights, like chaos, like, like it's things out of nowhere, things happening out of nowhere. And then you have Mercury at the lower octave of Uranus. To me, if Uranus is the great awakener and Mercury is a lower octave of that, Mercury is some divine awakener. And I always feel Mercury is trying, like bringing these little messengers and these guides in these ways to help shift our perspective, to shift our points of view, to like help us wake up in these little ways, right? And if we are getting it and we're starting to shift and we're starting to change and we're starting to like wake up in these little ways, we don't have to have Uranus come in and bring the tower. Like we don't have to have our whole worlds like collapse and destruct and just be in chaos, right? We don't have to have that. But when we're so out of alignment and with our soul's purpose, with the soul, with what we came to, the whole purpose that we came for Earth, why we came here to Earth, and we're not doing what we're here to do, it's like we get these wake up calls, and some of them are little and some of them are big. Some of them are major life changes. And sometimes we get the messages and we do it ourselves. And sometimes we have these bigger moments where we didn't get it and we wouldn't do it. So something has to happen for us to like finally get it and wake up and start doing it. I've had that. So I know. And I feel like Mercury and this yod pointing, I want to say yod, it's so funny. Yod, I might say both. Because I feel like both are true. But both Uranus and Neptune pointing to Mercury. I mean, if you think about Neptune, the mystical and the magical and the divine and the healing, like the deep healing, and interesting too, Neptune also rules film and photography. And here I am starting to record videos for Mercury. And talking about like Uranus, like out of the blue, out of nowhere, this bird flies in and I have these magical experiences and I feel like I'm here and here. But all of these things are happening simultaneously. It's like we have the Pluto aspect, but we have this other stuff that's happening too. So you have to almost like bring it all into context to like really get the bigger picture of what's really happening. Like something's really trying to wake up Mercury, right? Like something's really bringing Mercury to life. Like something's really trying to bring these messages and these omens, these signs and symbols into our lives to like wake up in some, and that doesn't have to be major ways. It doesn't have to be like this, but it can be because Uranus is there too. And Pluto's doing, and we have Uranus trining Pluto. So they are working together. There's this beautiful, harmonious aspect that they're really trying to bring things like to open us up in these beautiful and magical ways. Neptune really dissolving, like Neptune dissolves, like it removes and just like surrendering, like it's just like, okay, I surrender. I can't, whatever I'm doing and it's out of my alignment, it's out of my control, I surrender to. I let go, let God. And when we do that, but then also, with it connected to, I always think of like Neptune, and I have Mercury in Pisces, so I have this in my natal chart too. Like Mercury in Pisces, it's like it does connect. It is connected to the divine. It is connected to like the magical and the mystical worlds. And it does see the magical and mystical in all things. Like how beautiful. Like I am going to paint a picture. I've been having this in my mind. And when I paint it, I'll share it. It'll actually be on my website because I got it like so clearly. But it's, I believe life is magical. And when we believe, like when we actually truly like embody, I believe life is magical, watch how magical life is. Like watch all the magical things and how everything unfolds and unravels and does all this stuff. And even when we go down into the underworld and get stuck there, how magical something amazing as a bird flies in and helps rise us up out of the gunk, out of the yuck, right? Like a person comes in and is like, snap out of it. Like time to get out of this and come up here. Like people have that. We all have that. Animals have that. People have that. Art has that. Like you can see in art, some art, and it just like wakes you up. I'm like, wow, look at the beauty in that. Like because somebody painted that, like somebody made that. And it has like some magical like imprint in it because I always think of like anything that we create artistically, like it can be music, artwork, like whatever it is, it's through the divine. Like it comes through us in like God, the creator, divine, like it comes through us and that comes out of us. Like it's we're just the conduit of that coming through us. So it's not really us. It's like actually the divine that's coming through us, and we're just the conduit of it bringing out. But it has this magical imprint that actually is here to help us wake up and see and feel new and different ways. So I really wanted to talk about the aspects that are happening because it's so profound. Like I am talking about Mercury and Mercury Mysteries and the things that are happening, and like Pluto, what's happening with Pluto and Mercury, but then we have Neptune and Uranus all here too. And so there's this very strong, potent, mercurial thing happening, trying to get us to, like, if you think about it, just to kind of like these little small shifts and changes, but we like out of nowhere, like what's flying into your life? Like what's coming into your life? What's shifting and changing? What messages are you getting that's gonna wake you up and bring you up and out, or into something, guided into something that is super magical and mystical and amazing? So again, I'm so excited because I will be talking about Mercury Mysteries, and this is what it's all about. Like all of this that I'm talking about is how we do Mercury Mysteries, is how we play with Mercury Retrograde. So for me, I feel like, wow, like all of this is coming, like all of this is here, like these aspects. It's like Mercury's like, hello, Kim, hello, like the time is now, you can't wait. Like you can't wait. So are you getting that? Like, are you feeling like there's something that you can't wait, you've been trying to put off, but you can't wait anymore? If you got to like step out, like take the fear and move with it and shift with it, shift out of it, come up and allow the Neptune and Uranian energy that's focused, all this focused on Mercury. And remember, Mercury is so magical, like bringing those guides, helping us connect to our guides and that wisdom to help us shift out of something, to help us bring us into our like more purposeful, like what we're actually here to do, shift our perspective on things that we were like so stuck in. Like we thought, oh no, it has to be this way. What if it doesn't? What if it doesn't? What if it can be a whole new way? What if like a whole new world of possibilities opens up in the most beautiful and magical ways? But we're like so focused on this. It's like we're stuck in a prison, but Mercury's inviting you to come and play in his playground. Like he's opening up an invitation, like, come over here and play over here. Don't get stuck over there. Like you're stuck down here. Let me help you come up here and play in this magical playground, you know, called Earth in some new, beautiful, magical way where you're not stuck and you don't feel like you're like heavy and dense in all the things, right? But when we look at like the different planets and like their highest expression and whatever, like there's a low expression and a high expression. And we know when we're in the low expression because we feel the heaviness and we feel the denseness of it. We feel the spinning out of it. Like Mercury, the mind we can spin in cycles and get stuck in a spin cycle and get taken out and then and be stuck there I've been stuck there for days. And I'm like, oh my God, until finally something shifts. It's like, wait a second, I'm spinning. And as soon as you realize that you're spinning and you're become aware of it, it like can shift you out of it to where you're not. So that's what Mercury is trying to help us with and do. Like there's all these things that are happening. I'm just like, wow, this is so potent. This is so amazing and so beautiful. And it's all leading us up to, I find in so many ways this month is actually leading us up to the Mercury, what is actually happening, what will actually be coming for the Mercury retrograde. I have lots of things on the whole Mercury retrograde and what's going to be happening. So I'm super excited, but I'm so amazed and so excited about how everything is activating Mercury right now and how I've been activated to start sharing Mercury and my experiences with Mercury and Mercury retrogrades. So with that, I'm signing off.